It's taken a little time today, but I did it. I am no longer using this 2007 plastic MacBook, which is actually far heavier than I originally thought it was, and I regret picking it up with one hand. I'm no longer using that from my parents' computer. They've been upgraded. Hello and welcome to Wednesday. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you may actually remember when I gave them this. They were using an old Gateway, which is actually still over there. I don't know what year that's from. 2005? Maybe? If it's 2005, that would be truly hilarious to me, because that means that we've been incrementally moving them up 2 years at a time in computers, because that's a 2005, I think. This is a 2007 MacBook Pro, or, well, not a MacBook Pro, just normal MacBook. I think this is the last time they made plastic MacBooks. This was my first Mac. I got this when I was on my way to college as a freshman in 2007. And I gave them this computer to use because the upkeep was a lot easier than the Gateway. I'm not saying that Macs are perfect or don't get viruses or whatever, but they certainly get less, and it's easier for me to deal with. So I gave them this because I was then using this thing, which is Mal's computer from college. This is a 2009 MacBook Pro. But since last, December? January? I don't remember when I got it now. November? Anyway, when I got that new MacBook Pro, which I'm now using as my primary computer, I no longer needed this computer. And I knew that it was only a matter of time before this thing was going to give up the ghost, because the hard drive had been acting up anyway. So I decided that today was the day I was going to move them over to this new computer. Not a moment too soon, either, because Google announced a while back that they were no longer supporting Chrome on old versions of OS X. And I knew that that was going to cause problems on this computer. And the last time I was over here the other day, I noticed that it had. There was all these new things installed as Chrome extensions that I had never heard of, and they just seemed very adware-y to me, and that was something that we had never had to deal with in years. So I decided I was going to go ahead and do it. I got all of the important files off of this, moved them over here, and formatted this with the latest Mac OS version that it will support, which is not Sierra, which is the latest one, but the one before, El Capitan, which is surprising to me. I didn't think it would be able to support something that new. I thought we were going to have to do Yosemite, or what's the one before that? Mavericks? Something like that. So I thought we were going to have to go back there, but no, it's actually running El Capitan, which is the first time I've ever run El Capitan. I've never had that on any of my devices. So now it's all set up. It's actually even better than the other MacBook was, not only because it's, well, newer hardware, but it has a solid state in it, so it's super zippy and super fast, which is really nice for them. And I've went ahead and moved over all of their bookmarks from Chrome, and I moved all their usernames and passwords, and everything should just be set up to work. Ignore that. The computer went to sleep. I promise it's still working. To be honest, it's been kind of a weird day because I've done very little video work. I've just been working on a bunch of other things. This was one of them, but this didn't really take that much time. It's a passive effort. Taking that laptop and installing OS X, it's something that you start, and then it takes a while to do, but you don't have to watch it. So I was working on other things. But I had to work on... I had mentioned a long time ago that I had helped someone with a book, and there's like a few tiny little things that have reared its head that I need to deal with on that book, so I worked on those today. Obviously I worked on this today. You can hear my mom in the background. She's watching the vlog where I tried to cut the grass with that questionable vacuum cleaner. She's really enjoying herself. Anyway, I've also been working on some graphic stuff for actually a variety of people, one of them being Emil, working on some design/logo stuff. So it's been a very interesting day. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Mal's been working on her painting, which she should almost 100% sure be finished with tonight. It's kind of run into Katamari syndrome, because Katamari was supposed to be easy and took a long time because she had to mix so many different colors for the Katamari itself. And she's running into a similar problem because she's spending so much time working on Dynablade, because Dynablade requires a lot of colors. Although, just in general, this painting took a lot longer than she was thinking it was going to take. She's really poured her all into it, and it's beautiful, it's taken a long time to do. Anyway, one of the great things about coming over here is that it's impossible for me to do anything without being given food. So this is the last cheese cracker with deli mustard remaining, because no matter how old you get, your mom will always feed you. One final tidbit for today. When I was hooking up the MacBook Pro over there, I was unhooking the cable that connects the computer to the monitor, and the connection that they've had and have used not only for that computer but the computer before it was VGA. And to be honest, I thought that monitor only had VGA. Well, on a whim, I decided to look behind the monitor, and there's a DVI port back there. And I was like, huh, I have a adapter that will let you hook up the new MacBook Pro that I have over there to DVI. I guess I could do that. I have spare DVI cables laying around. I think I'll do that. I don't know what kind of difference it'll make, but I'll hook it up for them. Well, apparently the difference between VGA and DVI is pretty big, because whenever I hooked it up and Mom came back there to look at the computer, she couldn't get over how bright and clear and crisp everything was. She just kept saying that. She goes, I can't believe how pretty everything is. It's so bright and crisp. And in my head, I was like, well, I really didn't think there was that big of a difference between VGA and DVI. Obviously, one's analog and one's digital, but I didn't think really between the two it was like super, super noticeable, but apparently it is. So that was cool. That was an unintended side effect of giving them the new computer, but I'm glad that they, will enjoy that. I also made everything big. I changed all of the sizes on things throughout the OS and the browser and stuff, so it would be larger, because, well, I don't want to say they're old. They're just older. And the older you get, the harder things are to see. So hopefully that'll give them some level of assistance. Anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow I have hopefully my final ENT appointment. I think it's my third, which is crazy. I don't know how, third ENT, fifth time, I think, maybe sixth time, God, going to doctors for my ear about this ear infection that I had in February. Hopefully it's the final time I'll have to go to the ENT. My ear has not really been bothering me. Hopefully they'll look in there and say, hey, everything's good. That would be preferred. We're also going to be meeting several of our friends for lunch tomorrow. We're going to be going to get sushi, which is cool. So we're going to go have a big group lunch. And then otherwise it's just going to be continuing to work, because we're getting to the point now where we have just a little over a week before we leave, and things are going to heat up. Things are really going to heat up around here. We've got to record a lot of stuff. I know I talked about that in the vlog recently, but we got to do it because Dan's going to start getting worried, because Dan's got to get all that stuff edited while I'm working on other stuff. So yeah, we'll get started on that probably tomorrow as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?